Here are negatives. Brought up an interesting issue that there is little scientific evidence that merits the idea that medical marijuana would be beneficial. And yeah, there's not too much. It makes kind of sense though. It makes a lot of sense that the government wouldn't fund research on a substance that directly competes with its established pharmaceutical companies. Okay. As a matter of fact, even ex-Arizona Governor Gary Johnson, who was in office as a Republican, which commonly are opposed to marijuana legalization, was quoted saying that marijuana products directly compete with legal prescription drugs, painkillers, antidepressants, etc., which statistically kill 100,000 people a year, when in contrast there has been no legal documented death resulting directly from marijuana use. And we have to take into note that these pharmaceuticals are also very lucrative. They produce hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more than that, a year for our government. So it makes sense that there wouldn't be so much research. And not to mention, it's also very taboo for scientists to partake in this topic. And then also, our opponent also said that acupuncture is a good alternative to medical marijuana in terms of helping the ill. I haven't looked into acupuncture, but if it's a good if it's good for helping sick people, that's great. Who said we can't have acupuncture and medical marijuana? Why not use both? I don't see how we have to choose one or the other. And also, they seem to make some claims about psychosis and how marijuana is so addictive. And as a matter of fact, I found that medical marijuana is less addictive than other drugs. Oxycodone, which is an FDA-approved drug, according to the drugabuse.com, oxycodone will put someone at risk for developing tolerance and dependence. People at risk of these phenomena are even 40 times more likely to develop the heroin abuse problem. And heroin is not like marijuana. There are no happy heroin users. There are no hippies who use heroin. They're all kind of under bridges and probably dying. So not a similar thing. And then also, there is a lot of research that indicates that marijuana is not physically addictive. According to Daniel Takesh, a PhD on his watchdog.org article on marijuana is better than current treatments, marijuana is found to be non-physically addictive. However, it is psychologically addictive. Well, what one must consider is that a lot of things can be psychologically addictive. I can have an addiction to ice cream. It doesn't mean we should demonize ice cream. It's not so much a huge issue. I mean, you can be addicted to nearly everything. And also, the alternative drugs to marijuana tend to be very dangerous. Also, ibuprofen, which has 2 black box warnings, which state that it can increase the risk of heart trouble and has been linked to heart attacks, strokes, blood clots, and all these things. And commonly, like when we're watching TV, I think a lot of us have noticed that when medications are brought up, like FDA approved, like good stuff, right? It's like, oh, you're at the risk of all these other things, and it's typically that's not the case with marijuana. Like it's very low risk, and then it simply amplifies like existing psychological disparities. So if you're already crazy and you're taking marijuana, it might amplify that. You're not like a perfectly sane person when you take marijuana and all of a sudden you go like take your pants off and poop in public. And also, a lot of the negatives that our opponents mentioned in regards to marijuana or have to deal with smoking marijuana. There are actually quite a few alternatives to smoking marijuana, of which are edibles and vaporized marijuana and even topical ointments. And a lot of these other alternatives are non-psychoactive as well. So say for children, there is no high effect. It's not like, it's not necessarily even a pleasurable thing or something you can necessarily be addicted from. It's like, some of them are literally like ointments. And they tend to help a lot more than a lot of pharmaceutical drugs that create rashes or might have adverse effects. So. Okay, so Amanda Ryman, who has a PhD in social welfare and teaches classes on drug policy at the University of California, Berkeley, states that edible, vaporized, and topical marijuana applications are all safe alternatives to smoking. So it's not just me saying it, there are many experts who also agree with this. And again, the rare cases of paranoia and psychosis associated with the psychoactive effects of marijuana are easily omitted with CBD oils and stuff like this. They don't even interfere with psychomotor or any motor functions. You're pretty much okay. And also, loss of motor control and laziness are not a factor when using CBD oil. So that whole argument kind of